Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Content Crib Podcast. We are at Content Crib Podcast number 12. So we've achieved something. At least 12 times we've done something. So, Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I didn't think, I don't know if we've even celebrated the fact that we hit double digits.
I know. I think we were just on such a roll. We just decided we were going to, how about we do this? We're going to have a huge celebration when we get to triple digits.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's going to be a long way away. So, yeah, we've got lots of stuff going on. We've officially launched Content Crib RX. It is available. We are having people sign up, which has been exciting. Thank you. Lots and lots of flurry of signups that's going on. By the time you hear it, we'll have our cohort full steam. Doesn't mean you can't still sign up after hearing this and go into Content Crib RX. And we were talking before this, and we were kind of going back and forth about, what would you like to talk about today? And I just thought about, let's just talk about Content Crib RX, how we came to decide to do it, and that kind of fun stuff. If that's good with you.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think that right off the bat, we have these great get-togethers with Content Crib, and there always seems to be so much excitement, and then life happens for all of us, right? I think that people have families and careers and jobs, and they lose a little steam, me included. I need to make these things a priority, otherwise I won't do it. In terms of creating content, uplifting your personal brand, learning social selling techniques, staying relevant on LinkedIn, all these things. And Eric, you and I put our heads together and just thought, why don't we bridge that gap and come up with this program? Because there's also this huge need to learn AI. So where does everybody find the time to do all this? It's really challenging. So we want to be here to do that and help with that.
Yeah, you summed it up really well, because I know we leave Content Crib and I get DMs like you do and calls, and they're like, yeah, but I don't know about this, or I don't know where do I want to start? And everybody does it. And it's just, we just decided that with AI really becoming such a big piece of what the future is going to be, and all the things that AI can do that can just help you gain back so much of your time, it was just time to put something together in one platform to help as many people as we can.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because, there was a lot of thought put into this based on where business is going on the internet, and a lot of people cringe about that. I mean, not the people that we're, spending our time with in Content Crib, but I think that there's still maybe their family and friends. It's like, oh, how are you going to make money on the internet, or how are you going to build a brand on the internet? Like, that sounds so goofy. But the reality is LinkedIn, Twitter, I mean, they're becoming the top B2B marketplaces, and you're falling behind if you're not learning these things. So putting that all together for us is fun to do, and I think is hopefully going to be helpful for people. I think it's going to be very helpful for people that join us. So
I totally agree. And, I've started branching out. I mean, I was a LinkedIn guy for 5 years. I've kind of started doing YouTube now. We're putting the podcast on YouTube. We're looking at different platforms. And you got to know what you're doing. You have to understand, what is social selling. And a lot of, I bet quite a few people listening to this right now have no idea what social selling is. Well, you better, because that's where this is all going in the next 5 years. And, I listened.
Oh, it's here now.
Well, it's here now. You're right. It is 100% here now. And, I had a buddy of mine call me and go, man, I don't know about social selling and all this other stuff. It's just so new. And it's just, I get it's new, but it's like, is it really effective? And I'm like, I told him, you used to send a letter in the mail to somebody. Now you send an email. It's the next iteration of what we're going to be doing in business.
Did you ask your buddy how he found his most recent plumber? Was it on maybe Google reviews, or someone that was sharing their opinions? It's the same thing with the brand that you're building on LinkedIn, or any of these other platforms. We primarily focus on LinkedIn. Is your digital business card. You might as well utilize that to then connect with your ideal customers, right?
100%. I tell anybody who will listen, you're a media company, and you better embrace it, because if you don't want to, well, you don't have to embrace it. You'll find out what the effects of that's going to be. But you are a media company. You're going to be running your personal marketing and your personal branding, and you have to understand how to do it. And it's not that difficult. Just got to do it.
What do you think the biggest challenge is getting started? I think we talk about this a lot, but in terms of getting started with social selling and building a brand on LinkedIn, and it's probably a really easy answer to this, but I want to hear your opinion.
Oh, I don't think it's an easy answer at all, because I get asked it all the
Oh yeah,
time. So I think it's a
that's
great
true.
question. I think it's a great question. I and I don't think there's the answer is the same for everybody, except for one commonality and one trait, and that is you just have to start and share a message. Whatever that
Yep.
message is, you just got to start. I don't care if you go on LinkedIn and go, "Hi, my name is blank and I live in blank and this is what I do," and put a picture of yourself. That's your start. And you can always just
Yeah.
move on from there, or you can post that as many times as you want. You won't get any views, but that's that, you can do that. But yeah, I just, that probably is not a fantastic, extremely in-depth answer, but that's what I
No,
think.
I mean 90% of it is starting and staying
Yeah.
consistent, and I think that definitely
Well,
is a
I'm going
good
to give you
answer.
your kudos here, because I
Sure.
mean, I knew you when you didn't post. You did a little bit, but
Anything,
now,
yeah, a
like,
little bit, yeah.
and again, we're great friends, but I look forward to your posts when I see them. Like, I learn stuff from them. Like, the post you had today, I was kind of like, oh yeah, that is a great SendSpark video. That's a good. I was like, and I learn, and I think that's really a key, is when you educate people, your following will explode, because people want to find out each day what they can learn from you.
Yeah, I mean, educate and entertain, right? Entertain is hard for a lot of people getting started. That can
Yeah,
be kind of maybe a little bit embarrassing, or you know, not all of us are as funny as Seth Turnoff. I mean, I wish I was as funny as him.
nobody's as funny as
So I do I do push myself on the education part of it, because it does get engagement, and then that's your best route to becoming an authority figure in your space. You are an authority figure in your space. People just may not know it yet because you haven't shared it online yet. They may know it in your ecosystem, right? But you haven't had the opportunity to find new people on a platform like that. And yeah, I mean, you may get 3, 4, or 500 views, but that's 3 or 4 or 500 people that are probably new to you that are going to start following every day or every week, depending on what your cadence is.
That's a great point. And I say this all the time. Don't ever get caught up in the views. I mean, don't. I can tell you, Chris and I right now could put out a post that would get 100,000 views. We know what does it. We know what buttons to push, all the different things to do it. But what you're trying to do is,
I'm still learning from you. You definitely get
well,
a little more than me,
I
but yeah.
I can tell you exactly how to do it. Jump around in a storm with a red hat on, or something to that effect.
Yeah,
You'll get a
exactly.
cajillion views. But
Sorry to stop.
yeah, but of those cajillion views, how many people are excited about what Eric Anderson is doing, that kind of thing. Um, but don't get caught up in views, because the algorithm now is so smart, so tuned into what you're trying to, or who you're trying to educate. It will share it with the right people. And yes, I know. Here comes the next question that people right now listening to the podcast. Well, how do you figure out what the algorithm? You don't. You can't. I don't care. I hear all these LinkedIn gurus, and the latest guy pitched me today on who's a YouTube guru, and I'm thinking, you don't really know exactly what you're going to be doing with this, that, and the other, how that works, and the inflections you need to have, and all this other stuff. And so it was. I'll tell you about that sometime, Chris. It was a
Yeah.
funny phone call.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky thing, but it's like anything else. It's trial and error and testing and seeing, crafting your voice. I mean, Matthew Ray Scott talks about that a lot, as finding your voice. I mean, that was what I had to do, that's what you had to do, is you have to find your voice through the things that you like to talk about, personal or business wise, that can attract the people that you're trying to talk to. All right. We all have a product or service, and everybody needs more meetings and more customers. This is just another channel to do that. This isn't the only way, right? You're still going to stop by their office or send an email or make a call or cold call, and even better yet, send a video. This is just a great way to build authority and, build that know, like, and trust faster so they start to come to you. I posted another one of my newsletters on hormone replacement and peptides because, I do that with compounding, and I got 2 more DMs uh, from practitioners that want to learn more about working with me on those things. And I just have about 100 people subscribe to my newsletter I started, 2 months ago. Now, 100 people is a lot
Yeah,
for a newsletter.
that's great.
I'm not saying it's not, but I mean, it's, if you think about it, you know, to get a couple meetings out of just putting together something that you like talk. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In my
Well,
mind.
and we talk about your ideal customer and attracting them. I bet your newsletter is absolutely fantastic, Chris, about peptides, but that's not, that's not something for me. But the people that you get to subscribe to your newsletter, which is another medium, they are there for what you have to share. I mean, that's huge. And again, it's like, if you're doing that on social media platforms, and I say this all the time, is like 20 years ago or 10 years ago, for those people who are listening 10 years ago, in order to share your voice and what you had to do, you usually would, a lot of paid marketing. It'd be a lot of paid ads. I'm still surprised there are ad agencies in New York. I don't know why there is, but because this is, drum roll, free. I, you know, I don't know why in this day and age, anyway, they do. But what I'm trying to say is that as a free medium to reach so many people in such an easy way, you're I don't know why you wouldn't be doing it. I don't know if it's a social experiment you're conducting on yourself or what, but
Yeah, I wanted to, we've been talking about newsletters a lot. They're just so dang effective. But I wanted to ask you about, how's it going with I've been following you along on your YouTube vlog, and if you've been getting some feedback from people on YouTube and comments. And we have our podcast on YouTube, so I like to see the comments. It's pretty fun. But are you getting some good engagement with the vlog that you've done to build Content Crib RX, our new
yeah,
platform?
yeah, it's been great. I mean, thank you for asking about that. Yeah, I've gotten, so my second one will be coming out this week, but after the first one, I got a ton of messages, people asking me about. So this next vlog is going to be pretty detailed, exactly what platforms we use, why we use those platforms, what are the benefits of it. I'm going to get pretty deep in the weeds with a lot of that stuff and just give you, I mean, we're going to be an open book. I'm going to tell you everything that Chris and I did in order to create Content Crib RX, and, why we did it, as well. But it's going to get real technical. So yeah, a lot of questions. Um, you know, I did it this way, why we did it this way, why this had, this platform, and what do you use for this tech stack, and what do you do, and that kind of stuff. So I'll be answering all that. So if you want to check out my YouTube, the YouTube channel, it's under my name, Eric I. Anderson. Now, I guess I was going to
Yeah, I
ask
mean,
you, and back to your
yeah.
newsletter uh, that you're doing. What platform do you use for that newsletter?
Yeah, I mean, it's Beehive all
Yeah.
day. We can't not shout out our Beehive friends because they do, I think, have the best product. I know our Content Crib uh, newsletter is also on Beehive,
Yep.
and it's absolutely fantastic. I actually was listening to a podcast of one of the directors of sales for Beehive, and he's saying there's Beehive agencies, these are partner agencies that are making multiple six figures by helping build Beehive newsletters for businesses.
Mm.
So let's just say theoretically you're like, oh, I want to start a business. that maybe have some AI tools in it, which Beehive does, and bring it to small businesses. That's what's really growing right now, is bringing AI to other businesses and implementing it. That would be a great business model, because uh, building their viewership online through a newsletter and a proven product like Beehive, I mean, I see a great opportunity there for anybody.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. And it's Beehive has a free version. You want to use the free version, we that's what we started out with, and I think now the version we use is, I don't know, $49 or $79, and it is so well worth it on every level. And it's so helpful. That's interesting about the Beehive agencies. That makes a lot of sense, because I don't know if you guys listen to the podcast My First Million, um, Sam Parr and Sean, I think his name is Pure, something like that. But they both started and made extremely well. They made very good exit money when they left the Milk Road, and then I think they had another newsletter, but they did it in the newsletter world. And so those guys talk about it. They're friends with the guy who started Beehive. But if you ever get a chance to check out their podcast, it's really good. But they talk a lot about how newsletters are an integral part of their business now and the businesses they're in. So if you're listening to this, it could be a newsletter about anything. I don't,
Yeah, anything.
anything. And you'll have people that are interested, and they'll become loyal subscribers that whatever day it comes out, they'll be looking for it.
Yeah, and I want to pivot to AI, if that's okay with you, and I want to go through some statistics that, because I think there's a lot of fear around the AI, and I mean, rightfully so. There's been some job losses and shifting, but everything shifts in the right direction. But I think with that fear, there's amazing opportunity, right? I mean, for us in this golden age to learn and see where we can implement it to make us better, right? So I want to just run through these quick. So 14% of workers have experienced job displacement due to AI this year alone. 85 million jobs will be replaced by the end of the year. Entry level white collar jobs face the highest risk, and about 80,000 jobs are set to be eliminated through the beginning of next quarter. Now, these are obviously, they gave me these stats, and it's kind of like a fear thing. I think that I look at that and I'm like, all right, there's all this talk about all this fear and all these um, numbers and whatnot. But I was listening to a podcast. Actually, it was Alex Hormozy's book launch. Did you follow that at all?
I missed it, but I really wanted to see it. Was it good?
Yeah, no, he talked about this, and well, someone asked him, he said, if you only had $1,000 and you're given $1,000 right now, what would you do? And what he said was, I would go on YouTube and use the YouTube U, as they call it right now, with people not going to college anymore.
Yep.
And pick an AI tool that you can bring to small, very similar to what I was just saying before, a tool that you can bring to small businesses and implement immediately for a small fee.
Right. Listen, we would pay for it. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody came to us and said, I can use AI to coordinate all your video editing and create all your shorts, and it's, where we right now spend thousands of dollars on something, and they go, and we could do it for $200 a month, we're in. We'll do it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and I bring all this up because when we were developing Content Crib RX, and we made AI a big part of it, because you need to use AI. You need to become good at what AI wants you to be good at, which is using it to make you better and using it to know how to prompt correctly. And the AI agent that we built makes that a lot easier, but you still need to practice with it and use it. And I thought that was super interesting.
Well, and the AI agent we have is called the Content Crib Copilot, which is an awesome name. Kudos to Chris. Awesome name, but it,
I think you came up with it, but
I did. I don't remember. But I do know this. Like, I was just playing around with it. Well, you've done all the. You have to train AI. You have to train it, and you have tirelessly given it a lot of information and how to do things and why and strategies and things of that. So the AI is now trained in the way we teach at Content Crib RX, which is a tireless job to get all that done, but you did it. And so now, you'll get to see, if you utilize Content Crib Copilot, you'll get to see what it can do as far as whether it's ideate for you or save you time in content scheduling, or all kinds of different things that it can do. It's pretty cool. I use it all the time.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's exciting stuff. And well, this has been a solid episode, and we're going to be on lucky number 13.
Yeah.
Before you know it.
I don't know. We'll have to have an extremely special guest come on for episode 13.
Yeah. We'll tease that there. End it there.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you as always.
See you soon.